marker, turning red review, guys. Let's get right to it. Action! What's going on, Alamo City Movie Talk fans? I'm Ryan D. Ryan680.
I'm Angela, that Kelly Ange.
And this is Alamo City Movie Talk. Movie Talk for movie fans, guys. Thank you for making us a part of your day, part of the movie world here, ladies and gentlemen. Angela, what movie are we reviewing today?
We're reviewing Turning Red.
Turning Red, ladies and gentlemen. Pixar's own, very own Turning Red, the 25th film of the Pixar Animation Studios, guys. And coming number 26, Lightyear, later this year. So about a few months from now, actually, to be exact. And yeah, definitely excited. Now, to give you a little bit of backstory here, ladies and gentlemen, this film, Turning Red, was actually supposed to get released in theaters, right? In theaters. And the fact of the matter is, Disney went ahead and just said, hey, we're going to push it to just Disney Plus. This is not extra, guys, so this is available on Disney Plus, on every, on all the platforms, on all the plans. It is available. There is no extra charge or anything like that, which I thought was not bad. That's a pretty good move because that was the huge complaint that everyone complained about with Black Widow and all that stuff with the extra movie charge.
Mulan.
Yeah, and Mulan. I forgot about Mulan. And so regardless, though, this is the Pixar. And it's funny, too, because all the Pixar movies are not being charged. Soul wasn't charged either, and that got released. So knowing that this is the next film, right after that, I was very surprised. I'll be honest here. I didn't know what to go in. I didn't see a trailer, which is very surprising because if you don't know us, guys, personally,
I've seen a trailer. So I saw the trailer. I think I maybe saw like a movie in theaters with my mom, and they showed like a trailer of this. It was so like cheesy. It was so like it's like an animation for kids. It was so like cute. But I saw the trailer going into this, but there's a lot more of the story, definitely, which I really appreciate. Yeah, and if you don't know this, guys, personal wise, like for us, when you see our postings or whatever, we're a huge Disney. We go to Disney World. We've been going to Disney World for like the past 5 years, once a year. I mean, we've been going there a lot. So this was a huge moment. I get so upset whenever Pixar or Disney, it's really Disney's decision that they do this certain things. It's like, dude, this movie, and I hated walking out of this movie, or not really, because I was in my comfort of my living room, and it's just like, I'm all like, hey, I wish I would have saw this movie in theaters. And this, I feel like, again, this is just me. I feel like this is one of them. We're going to go into spoilers a little bit here at the very end, but yeah, I would feel like this is one of them. I feel like walking out of this movie, I was like, you know what? This would have made a good movie in theaters too. Mm-hmm. I don't know why it didn't. I would say, as far as the other movies goes, like I would say the one I would say the most, I would not like recently, right? I would not expect it to do well in theaters, because it's different type of family film. I would think Soul was I think after watching Soul, I thought that was a good one to just leave it in Disney Plus. Because of the audience it was really attentioning towards too. Soul was the most adult Pixar film for sure. Out of all of them. Had like bits that kids would like. Like it had like the cute little souls. I mean, it had like the humor of how like everyone in the same after realm has like the same name or something. It had this humor that was kids could appreciate.
It did, but again, if I were to choose one, this would not be one of them.
I feel like this would like Soul. Was more comparable to like Zootopia. Like it was enjoyable for all families, but there's an ultimate underlying message that might go over small children's heads. Yeah,
no, I got you. And what is this? What is this story about, Angela? Turning Red.
So Turning Red, it's a 13-year-old girl named Mei Lin. She turns into a giant red panda whenever she gets too excited.
I know, and
it sounds absolutely ridiculous, but it's so entertaining.
It's so hard. Like I'm just thinking in my head, like, wow, Pixar, y'all did it again, man. Because I was telling Angela, I was like, I'm a guy, obviously, so it's like, I can only imagine how much emotions are going through a 13-year-old. Like,
so we all can relate to going through being a teenager. Yeah, we've all done
becoming a teenager
and you're at a weird age, right?
Definitely.
13, hormones. 13, you're that's a weird age, right? Because you're transitioning. You're kind of in between. You're not like a baby anymore, but you're not like a full-fledged adult.
You're starting to like boys now. The girls,
you have friends. Now. You want to be a little bit more independent. So we've all can relate to being a teenager. Now, it is different, I would say, to be a teenage girl and a teenage boy.
Oh, definitely. 100%.
I can relate to that. I went through that. you can relate to being a teenager, but not necessarily the girl aspect of it, which they touch in this, and it was so
revealing,
funny,
revealing,
so
very
funny.
revealing, very revealing, and I just it's very an eye opener. It's funny too because I mean, obviously, I don't think about stuff like this. It's very revealing. It's very like damn, like. So much emotion. Like, how do you expect? The whole concept was that, like, you know, that when you're a panda, your panda reacts to your emotions. I'm like, dude, it's a 13-year-old girl.
So
like,
that's the whole premise that makes this story funny because she turns into this giant red panda, and we're not talking about she takes the whole room panda size,
the whole size of this room,
and so whenever she gets too happy or sad or angry or whatever,
it's all emotion.
She turns into this panda, and you know we get this underlying story of like she already has her culture influences how she interacts with her parents, how she interacts with her friends. So we see all of this kind of collide, and it's just so adorable, so funny. It has a lot of great messages. I gotta say,
it's set in Toronto. It has a huge, it has a really nice temple there that has so much Chinese culture. Has so much Chinese culture there, and I love that. That's such true authenticity there. I love that. I love the whole, even the whole ritual part of it. I just loved it because it showed so much characteristics there, development. It showed how true Pixar was.
We saw a lot of like culture aspects, which I really appreciate. I really love that.
Some of the food, I wish they would have touched up a little bit more on the food because they only showed us like a few scenes of the food, and there's so much more food to be. Let's be honest, there's a lot of food in Chinese culture.
It's funny because like they kind of. Like I know they're like not spoilers, but there's like one scene where the mom brings, I think it's like some steamed dumplings or something. I don't know the technical name of it. To Mei Lin while she's at school, and the security guard kind of throws her out, but like the security guard like takes one of the dumplings for himself. It's just so funny. It's just because like the food's so good.
Everyone loves the food because every time she mentions it to her friends, like they all love the food. They're like, they're just like, we want to go to.
It's so funny just to see all of the cultural aspects of it that they put in there. It's done very well, I think.
Love it.
And I really liked beyond the cultural thing, like just getting more info on like the mother-daughter dynamic. Like we get right away that the mom is almost like a helicopter parent. She's very overprotective. She doesn't kind of want to let go of, you know,
her child's life.
Yeah,
she wants to control micromanage everything, and you know, we're not parents, but we understand it because certain, you know,
like we've gone through it to a certain extent.
Exactly.
You know, we understand what it's like to be on Maylin's and getting like the parent that just doesn't want to let go of their little girl. You know, so
well, you have, not me.
I was like, it's the boy girl thing. But overall, I really enjoyed seeing how their relationship progressed and how it changed from the beginning to the end. I really enjoyed that. It made me cry so much.
Dude, I know you were crying a lot. I was just like,
it was
girl.
So emotional.
I was like, this is definitely a Pixar movie, guys, because Soul made me such teary-eyed and it made me cry. And with this one, you know, I loved the grandma in here. I love the aunts. Also, I really enjoyed her friends. Oh my gosh. I enjoyed her friends so much. Mei's friends. I loved them so much. Each and every single one of those characters, you know, they all had like their comedy, they're different sides of humor, and that's the beautiful thing about Pixar, was that they were actually able to do the dry humor, the sitcom humor, the cheesy humor. Each friend had their own style of humor and brought it into it. Again, that's just my point of view because I'm very picky with humor, so it just very went into detail on that. I love that.
So believable because I mean, I wish I had friends growing up like that, but I can relate to it because you know, when you have friends in a group, they're all different. They all bring something different to the table, and you see that in Maylin's friends. Like, you know, one has this personality, one is this way, one is this way, but they all just mesh together so well. Like, they're just such an awesome group of friends. Best friends.
Forever.
And so I really liked seeing the friends. Their friends are great.
Good.
Supportive, really good. You know, through the end. And I just enjoyed how, like you say, Pixar puts all this little details into it.
I feel like they really go into their personal lives, kids, the Imagineers, and all these people that are creating on development side. I just really feel like they asked their 13-year-old daughter, like, oh, what do you, or just they just pay attention closely to her behaviors and how her behavior
or
changes.
like I said, or you could draw from your own, because I mean, come on, we've all been 13-year-olds at one point. Like they can probably relate to how they were
at their personal details, especially in a different culture than we are used to, you know. And it's very different. We're not gonna start saying, oh, this ethnicity is more strict on the other, because we don't know. It's not about that. It's about how strict is your actual mother, dad.
And they explain it. They explain in this particular. I love the dad. Yeah. The dad's funny. They explain why the mom is so strict. There's
development, and it's not even about. And that's the beauty of it. It's not even about ethnicity, because they say, oh, you know, Hispanic moms or they're more strict or whatever. And yeah, certain things, yeah, but there's a reason to it. Why? Because they were 13 or they were 16 at one point too, and they don't want you to go through the same stuff as you did. Again, yeah, and it's like Hispanic moms, you know, get the chocolate out, you know. It's just like, I mean, we're so used to those different cultures. We've seen the memes, we've seen the TikToks. It's very different.
But they explain
discipline styles, right?
But they explain it's just, you know, like for any parent, they explain like you say, they don't want you to go through their mistakes. They want you to be better, learn from it. But they explain specifically in this movie why the mom is like that. Because
and I love that.
It's not a surprise that she's like that. There's a reason.
There's development there. And that's the good thing about Pixar, man. Any Pixar movie, there's so much story and there's so much details into why this person is mean. Why Buzz, why Woody was mean in the very first Woody, like in the first Toy Story movie, like why he was so jealous of Buzz, because Buzz came in and changed up the whole room, changed up the whole scenery. He didn't want to be a cowboy anymore. He wanted to be a space ranger. Like, dude, that's so much huge story of just a freaking toy. A toy.
And I feel like
Pixar,
I know you've mentioned it before, you know, stories that are in the works with Disney Pixar, they take years to develop, and you can obviously see why, because there's so much thought that goes into this, and there's so much story, like you say. It's just the small little things, the nuances, like little here and there's it's just, it adds up to this really great story. I feel like it was told very well. I really enjoyed the story. As silly as the synopsis is, it actually ended up being a really great story. Great message.
It was.
I overall enjoyed it.
I loved this movie so much. You know, I enjoyed so much of the characters. I enjoyed so much character development. There was huge character development here. I mean, so huge with the friends, with the mom, even with the dad. Because in the dad at the beginning, he's there, but it's
more
quiet.
Like he's quiet in the background.
But then he has so much in depth in him that we did not see in the first act of the movie, and then we get him in the second and third, and it just keeps going. I'm all like, oh crap, looks like the dad's not just gonna be quiet anymore. Like, he's just actually gonna say something. And you know, especially with Mei Mei, man, Mei Mei went so much. She is not the same girl as she was beginning of this movie towards the end, and that's why I love this movie so much more. But yeah, was this the film that we deserved, Angela?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna say yes. 100%.
I feel like it's such a relatable movie to a lot of people who are struggling with, you know, like accepting yourself and you know, family. It's I really loved all those themes, so I feel like it's a great movie, and it's portrayed in like a funny way. So I really enjoy it. I feel like it's definitely
very heartwarming. This is definitely a family movie that families are really going to enjoy. Again, I wish this was in theaters, because this is a perfect movie to be out in theaters and to get us pumped for the next Pixar movie, which is Lightyear. Comes out in June, guys. I'm so excited. Ratings 1 out of 10, 10 being the highest.
I would give it, me personally, an 8, because it made me cry, it made me laugh. I enjoyed it so much more than I thought I would. If you were to tell me it would be this movie, this good of a movie from the trailer, I wouldn't believe you, really. Because again, the trailer's so silly and goofy. But I enjoyed those elements, and what it had much more to offer. Like, I enjoyed all of it. I
enjoyed this a lot too, as well. You know, I enjoyed how especially, like, again, I mentioned it as I always have, like, I love that in-depth character development. I love how each of them had something brought to the table. There was no wasted character here, including the grandmother, including the grandpa, including the aunts. There was no useless character. Like, everyone took a part in this movie. Everybody did, and that's what I love when they, because I hate it.
That's funny because most of the people, like the cast itself, like the list of all the cast, it's pretty small compared to other
small names. But
it's like maybe like 25 at the most, whereas other movies have like a list of like 100. You know, like, it's such a small cast, and like you say, everyone has a small little part in some way, even if it's like a small 2-scene you know, involvement, or the main character. Like everyone kind of takes part in the overall story in some way.
Gotcha. Yeah. No, definitely there. I'm gonna have to give it a solid 8 as well. I really enjoyed this movie a lot, and it carried that emotional grasp that I always love and enjoy in a Pixar movie. It carries that whole heartwarming feel that made your heart cry, or made it just. I loved it. I really did. It just carried that Pixar moments in here that we grew loving and all that stuff. I just loved it. It didn't make me cry as hard as Inside Out or anything, but it's definitely in those elements as far as like Disney was Inside Out, sorry, but like it carries those elements of just how Disney really portrays their stories and really does successful on story arc and emotional crying arc. It really gets you heartwarming. Give it an 8. We definitely recommend this movie, guys. Be sure to check this out on Disney Plus, ladies and gentlemen. It is free. It is available with a Disney Plus subscription, guys. But thank you so much for watching. Any final thoughts, Angela?
As silly as it seems, I would give it a try. Like Ryan has said, it's definitely a good family movie. I think everyone will enjoy it. So definitely give it a try. It's worth a shot.
Give it a try, guys. Thank you so much. If you have not already, hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching, guys. As always, I'm your host, Ryan D. Ryan680.
I'm Angela at that Kelly Ange.
And this is Alamo City Movie Talk. Guys, thank you so much for watching. By the way, if you have not already, hit that subscribe button once again. And if you have not listened to our podcast, we do podcasts as well on this very platform here as well. We go in more depth, and maybe you're just busy on the road and you're not able to watch our stuff. Don't worry, we got it on every podcast platform out there, guys. Podbean, iTunes, Stitcher, iHeart Radio, guys. Be sure to check us out. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Have yourself a wonderful day, guys. Thank you.